We got some Permaseal. We're finally gonna do a truck first off. And the second thing is that I'm gonna show you how to remove Permaseal from these Ram headlights. You know I never do trucks. You know I never do Permaseal. I hate this stuff. It's hard. It does make you more money. It's stupid, but everybody always wants to know how to do it. So we're gonna take this lens off, then we're gonna remove all of the Permaseal. And you can see that bastard just sticking out right there. This super difficult to remove stuff is way harder to do on trucks and domestics than it is your typical import car. So this video is all about exactly how we're gonna do that. All right, I got some stuff I wanna show you on these lights, but before that, I need to introduce my boy John from Boosted Motorsports. I don't ever do trucks. My guy's got a bunch of trucks. He needs headlights. We're gonna do headlight stuff for trucks for John. It'll be dope. John, how come we're gonna open this light? What's the problem?
Well, it has haze, fog on it, and it's on the insides. We already tried polishing the outside, and we can't do anything about it, so we're gonna open it up and put a better lens on it.
And he asked me, is it really gonna mess up the inside if we polish it? And I was like, yep, but we'll try it. If we try to polish that after we swap it with the clear one, we'll be left with a hazy inside lens, and we'll see if we can maybe make that a little bit better. A lot of times people will stick Permaseal headlights in the oven, and they'll try to follow the advice to do with like an import car where it's got rubber butyl in there. And what you can do if you want to test it really quick is you could take a heat gun and just heat up right along this edge where we can see the sealant spilling out the edge. After I heat it up, I'm gonna poke it with this little guy, with this little pick, and I'm gonna see if I can get it to stretch, because what we should see is the glue, if it's soft, should stretch like old bubble gum, right? But if it's Permaseal, it's just gonna tear. And that means that there's no easy way of removing the lens without actually putting a screwdriver in and kind of prying it away from the clear plastic on here. And then after that, we have to go back through the headlight and remove all of the original sealant out so that we can have it prepared and ready for the good rubber butyl. The other thing too is you don't want to overheat stuff. That's why opening lights with a heat gun, especially Permasealed, like you're begging for damage for sure. Okay, so I can see that it's darkening up on this plastic right here. And if I poke into that, it seems like, oh, it's soft, right? But look, it doesn't stretch. All that's gonna happen if I try to pick into it hard is it's just gonna tear. So if I put a little flathead screwdriver in there, see how it's actually got a hard tear and it lays right back on itself? It's not stretching at all. See that? Now this stuff is rubber butyl, and you can see it stretches. So what would it would look like if we actually had the easier stuff is we would poke into it like this, and then as it stretches out, see how it looks like kind of like bubble gum, right? But this stuff, it's not gonna do that. So that's a side-by-side of rubber butyl versus Permaseal. I'm gonna hit this thing with a heat gun really quick and get these little tabs lifted up. But before I do, the main thing I want to mention is, because this has black in the background, any imperfections whatsoever, they show up as way more apparent. But if all the insides in there were completely chrome, the light bouncing off kind of blows out the imperfections in the lens. So if you have lenses that aren't that great, but you have chrome lights, you're okay. But if you take those lights apart, you paint everything black, you reseal them, all of a sudden you're like, why are my lenses so ugly? They already were, you just couldn't notice it. First thing that I wanna do when I'm gonna take the lens off is I wanna hit this tab, because I know that this tab is made out of clear plastic. It means it's way more brittle than this black plastic right here, which is gonna respond better to heat. It's not gonna break super easy if I pry on it, whereas this stuff, if it's not hot enough, it's just instantly gonna snap. So I actually wanna pry that off the tab by getting it super hot with the heat gun. So the problem is, if you overheat this plastic, it's gonna start bubbling up and looking like crap. Doesn't really matter because no one ever sees it, but I just assume only do what we need to do. Now that that's not holding the tab anymore, I'll be able to just pull the lens straight off and it won't be trying to hook itself back into place. There's no screws or anything that's holding the actual lens in place, but look right there, you can even see where it's like bubbled up a little bit. That's what happens when you overheat clear plastic. It doesn't respond well. It's completely different than the material that's on here.
Today's video, we're here with FlyRyde.
Gorilla Grip gloves. So it's been in there for roughly 20 minutes. And what I wanna do is I wanna get all of these tabs worked up. And I wanna separate the lens from the bucket right here. So I'm gonna have to just kind of push this screwdriver along and get this to separate, because while it's hot, it's letting go much easier than if it were completely cooled down right now. And then once you've got a point of leverage, like if you've got it like halfway around the light is already open, then you can just kind of use the leverage to open it. This is what I'm gonna do because I messed up. On one side, I already did this. On the other, I did not. So I'm gonna hit these tabs right here with heat. Matter of fact, I'm gonna lay it down. I'm gonna hit them with heat, and I'm gonna have to stick this back in the oven because I already missed my opportunity to do this ahead of time. There we go. All right. So now that I got that tab lifted up, I'm gonna stick this thing back in the oven. Yeah, look at it separating from the lens. So I'm just kind of rocking it back and forth, just enough where the screwdriver doesn't start piercing the sealant and get caught and start like potentially eating through the plastic or anything. But if I use a pry tool, where I want to use it is right up top where I can really bend this. Because notice this isn't breaking right here, but it is allowing me to get to the back side. So once I'm in right here, now the hard part is, wow, I've got to apply some pressure to push this way and that way at the same time. Now, if it's not hot enough, this is not going to want to work. And if I haven't pried enough to start this, we're going to have to heat it back up even more than we already have. Stick that dude in there, and now I got to work my way around this light. Because what I don't want to do is completely deform that channel. So if I just walk my way around it like this, then it's not gonna put too much pressure on it. So now we're at a point where I'm dropping scary pointed stuff towards my toes. All right, and this is super important. Don't push your luck. I've now created leverage. I have the whole top open. I have everything else that I need to do. And if I'm dumb, I'm just gonna force it. And then when the lens snaps in half, I'm gonna feel really stupid, and John probably won't be too happy about it. But I'm gonna stick this thing back in the oven, give it one last little run, maybe 5 minutes in the oven, and we'll finish up removing the lens. Hey, it's more better. No more days of this. I'll do another one back to back just to make my video here, but. A lot of people would be like, okay, let's remove these parts. Boom, and stick their fat thumb right on that chrome. We don't want to do that. This chrome has to stay 100% pristine. So we're gonna try to very carefully remove it. Next part of the video is gonna be removing the rest of the permaseal, but that's not right now, just because it looks cool. Okay, so I'm gonna set this thing to the side for now.
Chris is not exaggerating. This is a pain in the butt. I do not recommend. Look at it.
All right, yeah. Speak to the people, because these are the people that are going to be doing this.
I know. So he used crying when he saw that it was this kind of rubber. We just took it out of the oven, and it's still like. And he said we gotta get it all out. So.
So I feel it cooling down, and it's actually slowly getting harder and harder to come out, and it'll eventually just rip like that. So. Once it gets to that point, you can either heat it back in the oven or try to get another little chunk started again.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Going back to Hellcat swaps. It's easy.
This is what not to do.
Want to watch your buddy fix his headlight lens? Look.
All right, do it again.
That's there.
Okay, do it again.
Look, a little bit of haze. Watch as soon as it
A
evaporates.
lot of bit of scratch.
No.
Put it in the sun, see if you see any scratches.
Look, this.
He's trying something Chris says not to do. He told him not to do it. This guy doesn't care.
I'm a doer.
Dude, look at this. Is nobody gonna talk about my impressive glue job? Look at that. It's clean.
Finally, you're doing something right.
I know.
Stick it in there. This is a microfiber cloth. This is chrome, and everybody that says just wipe the chrome is an idiot. That's why.
Just small scratches, but you can still see him.
Yeah. You can't. Oh, wait, that's more scratches, and then there's more scratches. This is called dip.
How long?
I don't know. It might not even work.
Magic sauce.
It's actually not chrome. You can see it right there. It's a degreaser that's breaking down the aluminum, because that's actually what you see. So it's actually going into John's nose, poisoning him.
I ran out of battery.
Hi boy. Oh, you can still see the ram. Yeah.
What?
Hi boys. Hey. Now we gotta go wash it off with water, because this is messed up stuff. Bad for you. still polish it up just a little bit right at the end, just to make sure it came out perfect.
shit.
Using this machine to fill this up.
Haven't raised my platform for it, so 6'3" bent over is not comfortable.
And yeah, so he's gonna fill it up, throw it back in the oven, heat it up, and then throw the lens on.
All right, and then when I get this corner, all these tabs gotta sit right back where they were. I'm just tired. I just wanted this video to be over. Do you like them, John?
Me too.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think John likes them. That's the only thing that matters. We've got this, that we turned into that, and that is pretty cool. It really does change the look of the truck with all the black trim on there. It just, instead of having all that chrome inside the headlights, they look pretty sick. And you could still see the little Ram logo in there. It looks pretty badass. So I'm happy about it. I got oil in the driveway still, but it's all good. Fully black inserts. We've done it. I put John to work. He did awesome. Watch John's channel. He's probably gonna have a better, more cohesive story than I do. This was just all over the place. It was fun though. So thanks for coming, brother.
Thank you.
Not bad.